Hello, I am Michelle with two L's,
And I'm Natalie the Red.
and we are Force of Light Entertainment, and we're here continuing our episode by episode review of Stranger Things Season 4. Today we're going to be discussing Chapter 6, The Dive. Dun dun dun.
Yes, excited to continue our series.
Yeah, so let's get into this. This is the second to last episode of Volume 1. Volume 1. There
So
will
I
be
do
Volume
feel,
2.
even though there's definitely important things that happen in this episode, like it is a little bit of a setup episode also, I think, to the last one.
Well,
But I mean, there's still a lot of good stuff in it.
I mean, this is a movie. Everything builds off
Yeah.
of. It's like a big long movie. Everything keeps building off the other. But there actually is. It's even beyond. So technically, every episode is setting up the next episode.
Yeah, that's true.
But they do actually get a decent amount done in this.
Yeah.
Like, there is quite a bit done because it starts with
figuring things out.
Yes. Well, it actually starts with the basketball situation and that guy. We'll touch on him later. But the main thing we get in this too is you get a lot of time with Eleven in her memories.
Yes.
In this, and of course, working with Dr. Brenner. And at the end of the last episode, we saw she was beginning to get her powers back. But it seems that they're working their way to this memory that we got at the very first,
Right.
the opening of the show.
Yeah, like how did that come to be?
Yes. And still, I really like that guy that told her sometimes Papa lies. Just really, it's like maybe they pull one on me and he's very trustworthy, but he's just so creepy.
Yeah.
That even when it seems like he's trying to tell her something good, it doesn't feel that way.
Or trying to be helpful, but he just seems kind of creepy.
He's a creeper.
A little sus.
Yeah, he's definitely a creeper. He's
he's got some skeletons in his closet, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying how he seems.
He's creepy. And I'm trying to think. Let's see. I believe it's this episode. Yeah, I think it is, where they even do that when she's going through her memories, and they do basically it's almost like that football drill they do. But where they go head to head, basically, of who can move each other off the circle fastest. Right. And then again, guys, this whole season, you just feel so bad for Eleven, because even you see in her memory, she was getting bullied as a little kid.
Pretty horrifically.
Yeah. That one, she's like, "Are you gonna cry?" or something like that. And you're just like, "Shut up!"
And she's really small in this memory. She's still little, younger than when we first met her in season 1, or was supposed to be.
Yeah, because when it shows in the mirror, it's her probably maybe a year or so before season 1. I mean, maybe 10 years old.
1979.
Okay, so a couple of years before season 1 then. Yeah, so those memories, those were pretty creepy in throughout this episode. Again, she does at the end say, she kind of begins to piece things together, and she's like, "I killed them," and that's kind of where it ends. Right. Or I killed them, and Papa just kind of doesn't really say anything.
That's clearly what she's afraid of. And
yes.
Maybe she's just going to a worst case scenario to protect herself.
Yeah, she's definitely frightened about that.
I think most of us don't really think that's the case. So we shall see.
I mean, she can lose her cool, but it doesn't seem like her base personality. I mean, again, as I said when we reacted to that whole scene, I mean, she struggled. She didn't want to have to kill a cat, let alone a human being.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that either. Cats are precious.
Well, I know, but my point is someone who could massacre kids wouldn't have any problem with that.
Right, because I think they show you those things for a reason.
Yes, to show
who the character is.
That's not who she is. So that's why I don't really necessarily think it's still, even though they're leading you to think she did that still. We'll see. I haven't seen the last episode. And then we got Susie. We finally went to Susie's house, and wow. Lot going on in that house.
Yeah, so we've got the California crew, going there, and it was an interesting scene. It kind of goes back to it, once or twice or something. But yeah, it was a little random.
It was a little random.
It was a little different, but they got the job done.
They did. They got what they needed for Susie to help them with. So that was good. I did laugh when Oregon. What's his name? Argon, the new guy.
Yeah, gosh, I forgot it now. Argyle.
When Argyle like meets Eden, he's like, "I'll do that for you, Eden. I'll do anything for you."
Yeah, he is like very much crushing on Eden big time.
He was smitten.
He found his lady.
He was smitten right from the beginning. And then too, you got Hopper, and the Russian prison is trying to fatten them all up, I guess, so to speak, before they feed him to the Demigorgon. And I thought that was a good scene where they're all like, "Why is the American not eating?" And it kind of felt to me almost like sitting around a campfire and like telling the scary story as
with a translator.
Yes, as Hopper begins to tell them about the Demigorgon and what they're really doing in the situation.
Yeah,
because Hopper is a smart dude. He puts things together. But we see that Hopper is resourceful, as he always is.
He is. Well, and it was like kind of nice too, because it kind of felt like a part of him had just given up at that point.
Yes.
But it's like then we see that spark again when he pulls that maneuver to get his friend upset to where he can, I guess, retrieve.
And that was kind of funny too.
Yeah.
Like the things he says to him to make him fight him.
Right.
And of course that guy didn't know he was messing with him.
He's like, "What are you doing, American?" But he gets that lighter and he's basically like, "We're back on. We're gonna give it a try. We're gonna give it our best."
Yeah, he did this thing. He did. It was like a moment of like Hopper's back.
Yeah.
Hopper's back. And then with Joyce and them, they've plotted together. Murray is going to play Yuri and vice versa, and they're going to try to sneak in to get Hopper out. So I did laugh when Murray's like, 20K, okay, 25K, and then he's like, "Ha!" like he's not doing that.
And like how Yuri always does that, says something and then just laughs crazy. That's basically what he was giving him some of his own medicine.
Yeah, Murray gave it back to him. It was a pretty funny moment. I will say too about I actually do kind of like the prison guard. He's likable.
Oh, I do too. Yeah,
he's a likable new character that's in there with Hopper. Like, I've not seen the next episode. I fingers crossed. I hope the guy makes it out. I don't know.
I won't give any spoilers, but so kind of
he's
rewatching,
he's
going
likable.
through some of these again, like rewatching to do these, just because I want to give you guys a good account of the show. But I found him even more likable on the second watch through. Like, oh, he's actually a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, no, he is. He definitely at the beginning was just doing it to get money, but I feel like he's a decent guy.
And
actually.
Like he kind of genuinely likes Hopper.
He does. He definitely genuinely.
I kind of thinks he's cool.
Yeah, he likes Hopper.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like Hopper? So
he's impressed with the American.
He is. And then the group in Hawkins, they are able, again with the compass, are able to figure out that there's some kind of entry point into the Upside Down because the compass is going wild like it did in season 1.
Right. I was going to say kind of like our knowledge from season 1. You do kind of remember some of these little things of how it works.
Yes. And they find that there's one, which actually is a callback to the beginning of the episode. They find that when that thing grabs the fish at the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, at the beginning, I was like, why are they going down into the water? And then it was like, boom, and it grabs the fish. So we find there's an entry to the Upside Down at the bottom of Lover's Lake.
As Dustin coined it, it's Watergate, if you will.
Yeah, it is.
Gate in the water.
It is Watergate. No one else.
He was really proud of that one.
They weren't that amused by it.
No, they weren't that amused by it. But technically, he was right.
They weren't super amused. And then, too, the basketball guy, he's like really getting the town. The whole town, is listening to like this 18-year-old, but he's like really worked up the whole town against the Hellfires Club.
Yeah, and he's convinced them it's like they're like, devil worshippers and stuff like that. Erica's clarifying like this is just a group of nerds.
Yeah, she's like
play D&D.
They're just nerds.
Right.
That was pretty funny. And it was a pretty funny exchange in the Willer house when he's like, what does the dad say?
He's always coming through with the funny dad jokes or just stuff that like dads would say.
He's like, you never know. And she's like, they're not murders, Ted. And he He goes, she's putting words in my mouth. Do you see what she does? Like,
the dad, honestly, he doesn't get enough credit. Like, he plays his part so well.
Oh, they both do.
Just those corny, detached lines, you know.
He does. I really,
there, but he's not there.
I really have high hopes that one day Mr. Wheeler's going to come in clutch in like a key situation. I really want that. It would be so funny.
And totally redeem himself.
Yeah, like it would, like, yeah, give him almost a Steve from season 1 moment.
Yeah. let Mr. Wheeler shine.
It would be funny, but yeah, so you got that going. They're hunting them basically, and then of course the cops find them as the group has gone off. Steve, Nancy, Eddie, and Robin are in the boat, and I mean, I love Steve. You guys know I love Steve. Steve,
I mean, Steve fans around here.
I am. Like, Steve has got guts.
He does.
Like, Steve just immediately takes
a heart of gold.
He really does. Like, I'm like totally team Steve with Nancy. I'm like, girl.
Oh gosh, I like Jonathan.
I like Jonathan too. But
that's another thing related. Like, there's definitely
there's a triangle right now.
There's a triangle very much forming right now.
Nancy's feeling those old feelings again.
That loving feeling is being brought back.
It really is. And I mean, I've got to say, it's time to run back to the loving arms of Steve.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
Team Steve or Team Jonathan? You can let us know below. But yeah, Steve just like, because that's the thing about Steve. Jonathan would not be the first one out of that boat. I'm sorry. He's not. It's just not his character. It's not his personality.
But he lets Nancy shine, and she likes that.
Yeah, but Nancy, I feel like she would get bored with that eventually. I don't know. Steve's like a nice mix. He's pretty go with the flow, but then he'll step up and be a man when you want him to be a man. And
Steve takes care of stuff.
He does. He was like, I'll jump in the water.
He's like, who had the swim record on the swim team?
Steve.
Going in, definitely.
And Steve, of course, goes down there. And as soon as he puts his hand on it, you're like, please don't touch that. Go away, Steve.
Yeah.
Like, swim up. And then when he doesn't get out of the water, you're like, no. And then boom, he's grabbed down. And that's where you got to love a Nancy, because then Nancy goes after him.
Like right in.
Yeah. Like, had this been with Jonathan, Nancy would have gone first, and maybe Jonathan goes after Nancy.
He might have been last out of the group to follow her in, is what we're saying.
But in this case, Nancy's going after Steve, because she was already checking out his muscles to begin with. But she's going for Steve, and then
Steve was looking good he's looking good this season.
He was, especially to Nancy. And and then Jonathan's he's gone, guys. She moved on.
He'll come back.
Then you got Robin, and then finally Eddie jumps in, and then my gosh, the ending of this episode,
Michelle was worried.
I was like, not Steve. I mean, you know he's gonna be fine, but you just need to know he's gonna be fine, because it's Steve,
right?
And it wouldn't be the show without Steve.
It really wouldn't.
It wouldn't. But yeah, that scene at the end, it was like, it's like he's pulled up into hell basically. Yeah. And you got these bird/bat things like clawing him.
Demon creatures.
Like it looked like it wasn't even a bite, but like talents going in.
Like
almost.
The beak would just go like right in like a knife or something.
It was brutal. And you're just like, no, not Steve.
But I mean, it shouldn't be a shocker. We know he's got people coming after
He does.
That's all I'll say on this one.
The crew's coming to help. I feel like Steve's gonna make it. He's gonna be all right. Hang in there, Steve. Hold on. They're
Help
coming.
Is on the way.
They're coming. But yeah, that's kind of this episode. And this episode, it was trippy because a lot of the time spent with 11. But then also the whole part with the Hopper. I mean, the Hopper stuff was good, and then also the Nancy and that group, especially at the end, you were like on the edge of your seat of what's going to happen. So it was another great episode. So I'm going to give it out of 5 hoots. I'm going to give it. It's between 4.5 and 5. I'll go 4.5. But the end was awesome.
I'm just over, like explaining things in the story and everything. Like, I'm still going to give it 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily give it 5. Yeah. It was a great episode. But what did you guys think of this episode? Share your thoughts below and be on the lookout. Our next chapter will be coming out soon. Definitely check that out as well. And yeah,
leave your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, definitely. And hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel.
Shelly's excited to watch the season. Well, it's not really the season
finale.
The
volume finale.
Tonight.
Yes, definitely. I'm very excited about that.
As you should be.
I am.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, yes, again, check out our next episode. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light. All right. Bye guys.